Okay, welcome back to our Earthborn Rangers campaign. We are currently in the middle of exploring Aatrox Mountain. Got a few things left in my turn for this round. I've still got 2 awareness. So I think I am going to use that Sparrowhawk to scout forward on the path deck. And I also have 3 fitness. And I'm going to spend those pretty immediately because to explore Aatrox Mountain, I have, show the card here. I have a climb test, so that's going to be a fitness plus any triangles I decide to discard on cards. It allows me to climb the steep, perilous route, add 2 progress to this location for every effort. Then it does fatigue me, so that's going to be an interesting one. So I am going to spend this card, which it does have the triangle on it, the insightful, plus all 3 of my fitness tokens. I'm going to basically attempt an effort of 4, and to clear this location and be able to travel away from it, I need a effort of 5 per ranger. So I'm going to do an attempt with an effort of 4 and hope I get some good luck on the challenge deck. I got not great luck on the challenge deck. I actually got a -1 on my fitness. So it ends up being an effort of 3. And there is a mountain. So if this test added progress, I do add additional 1 progress. So it'll go there. And so now I just need 1 final progress on that. Let's see. Alright, let's use the Sparrowhawk. I'm going to do an awareness test, and I'm going to survey the road ahead. Also, I forgot that mountain is going to fatigue me, so I'm going to discard Compassionate. It's going to be so we're doing an awareness test, a survey test of 2, plus 1. It's a survey of 3, so let's see. Survey 3 cards, and I draw 1. So I've got a Romping Lutrino, which is a prey or a predator. Tidewater Muskets again. And that Tributary Stream, which is an obstacle. So I'm not going to do an obstacle. I'll definitely do the muskets, the Tidewater Muskets. And then I'm going to end it. Okay, draw a card. Switch the refresh, so take a cloud off. Okay. Now we'll start anew. Let's see, I got this Romping Lutrino to get rid of. What I think I am going to do is, I'm so close to traveling away, I'm going to try to subdue it with an awareness test to try to exhaust it. So let's take a look. An exhaust awareness test. So let's do that. spin my 2 awareness. So that's a 3, so I do exhaust it. That way when I interact with this location, it's not going to cause me to discard any cards. So it won't fatigue me, basically. These Tidewater muskets don't fatigue me because they don't have any presence. I am going to, however, interact with one of those and try a fitness test to pry that open. So I'm going to do a fitness test of 1. Great, that does work. So I add a damage token to it. So let me grab one of those. And then I soothe to fatigue, so these 2 cards will come back into my hand. And then I am going to do a 2 fitness, and I'm going to put that towards the climb here. Test. Got a -1, so I'm glad I did 2 to that. And that makes it a total of 5. So because it's 5, I'm going to end and choose to travel away from this location. Because I don't really have much here else that I want to interact with. So let me discard this. Let's go ahead and get rid of these, including the neutrino. We are going to be traveling to the northern outpost. So let's show the map here. So the map is going to be shown. So we have Aatrox Mountain here. And we're traveling along, looks like that path, which is a wooded path to the northern outpost. You can tell that because it says it's the woods on here. So it'll be a wooded outpost. And then also, because it's got one of those highlighted things on it, it is a pivotal location as well. So we can see that because it's much, much more highlighted than the Aatrox Mountain or where we were earlier, the Golden Shore. So I'm interested to see what the northern outpost has to offer. So because it's a pivotal location, I will add in the location cards for that location. Cards for the northern outpost. Got the woods. And then let's grab the actual location card itself. So let's show the card for the northern outpost. It is a pivotal location. It's a ranger station. Let's see, it requires 4 progress per ranger. It's got a tidy mission or test, which is a focus test. The remote outpost is card 1, neglect from this location. If you fail, it fatigues you. So basic and clean up this place and see what happens. Focus tests are a little difficult for me, so we'll see. But I do potentially have the option to at least commit 1 focus to it and see what happens. Alright, and let me get the challenge deck here. I do have the challenge deck out. Let's go ahead and mix everything up with all these cards from the location and then the wooded path. And then we'll do the setup for this location. So we do have an arrival. So everything's written down here. Let's read the back of this card, see what it tells us to do. Arrival setup, so lead ranger draw 1 path card, and then the next ranger draws a path card. And it's got a book entry of 4. So before I draw a path card, let's read this entry. Northern Outpost. Here it is. The hike through the dark and gloomy woods has taken you hours, but you finally reached the Northern Outpost. Read 1. If you fixed up Northern Outpost, read da-da-da-da, otherwise read, okay. Scraps of wood, cloth, leather, and paneling lie scattered about the exterior. After long years of neglect, the forest around seems to press in on the outpost from all sides. Search the Northern Outpost set for the deep woods and put it into play. Okay, so let's grab the Northern Outpost set, let's grab the deep woods and put it into play. Okay, I'm gonna go shuffle these again. Let's see what this says. It's a feature, flora. It does, I'm gonna show this test. It's got a hide test on it, which is an awareness plus that symbol. Any in the dense undergrowth to move your, so I can hide in the dense undergrowth to move my ranger token to this feature. While your ranger token is on this feature, you can use the following response. When a being fatigues you, you may add any number of damage to this feature to prevent an equal amount of fatigue. So that's up to 6 damage. Exhaust this feature. That's going to be with a mountain symbol on one of my challenge cards. And I can search the path deck for the next predator and put it into play. I can't. I don't want to, but I guess I do. So that is going to be a 40. Let's read about that card. The evergreen woods in the northern mountains consist of massive rotting cedars intermixed with silver firs dripped in hanging moss. No light filters down from the canopy, leaving the forest floor a gloomy cathedral crowned with tree trunks and linen-covered rocks. You can't see more than a few meters ahead, and all around you the forest seems completely quiet. Alright. Alright, so the setup, I do have to put a card into play. That is a Sitka buck. We're familiar with those. So that is just a natural prey, not a predator, and that'll go there. Do think I want to explore a little bit further into the deck. However, that awareness test to be able to hide in the deep woods might be kind of nice. That's only when a being fatigues me, so interesting. Cool. So start the turn. Flip the guy over. Oh, hey, there's another Sitka buck. Okay. Alright, so I'll exhaust the sheepdog to move a couple progress cubes. Actually, so I think I'm going to add 2 progress to this. I'm going to discard or exhaust this to fatigue. What is it? 2 cards? Oh, to the number of fit. So I will do 3 actually. And then I will exhaust this guy. Allows me to add a token to an aid card, so I'll add a token back to that. And then it allows me to move a progress from that card and add 2 progress to a being, of which I am going to do the Sitka buck. I am going to then interact with the Sitka buck that I just did. I'm going to spend 2 spirit to do a connect test with this Sitka buck and add basically another 2 more to it. And then I will, it says if there is an active Sitka doe, there is not. So nothing really happened there, so. Perfect. I am going to do a survey test. So that's an awareness. That's only going to be an awareness of 1. So got that -1 there. So let me move this over. It's going to be a sunberry bramble coming up. It's good to know. So I draw that, put it down there. Okay. Okay, I'll do a fitness test to pet my canine to unexhaust it. Nothing happens there. I'm then going to re-exhaust it, add 2 to this, and it'll go away. I will do another fitness test. I will not. Alright, and then I'll do one more fitness test. Unexhaust it. And I'll unexhaust. I do see the fatigue every time I do that, so I'll come back. And then I'm going to basically add those two. Okay, I think I am going to rest. Let's do a ready. Perfect. Let's draw a card. Another Sunberry Bramble. Alright, I'm going to exhaust this again. Add a couple progress to this, so make it a 3, but I am going to immediately use 1. So get to add a token to an aid card. Get to use this. I did, and I added, and I get to add 2 progress to an area, which I will this guy. I'm gonna spend one of these, do a test, which is a fitness test. Exhaust that, but then re-exhaust it, and then eventually add enough. Get rid of this if you go. Let's see. Well, I get to exhaust that. Find the next predator, put it into play. I don't like that. It'll be a prowling wolfhound. Appreciate it. So that is a, ooh, that's a 6 on there. Gotta get rid of that guy. Alright, let's do another one of these. Do another one of the fitness tests. So come back. I'm gonna exhaust it again. To add to progress to this. Sit there again. Okay. Let's do a scout. Awareness test. Let's go ahead and shuffle these. Shuffle that challenge deck. I'm doing a awareness test, so it's going to be a survey test to scout path cards equal to my effort, and then draw one. So let's see. Okay, so awareness 0 there, so that'll help. So I get to scout 2. Definitely not the caustic mulcher. So trick of the light. So this is a feature. It's page 39 in the book, so we'll read that. And it's 8 to clear. If there's an odd number of progress on this feature, the strange phenomenon vanishes, shuffle it into the path deck. Definitely don't want to put an odd number on there. And it is 39, so let's read that. If you've met an interloper, go to 39.1, otherwise go to 39.2. You see a dark shadow moving through the trees. You freeze trying to get. You better look at it. The shape seems humanoid, but taller than you, with a slightly forward-sloping posture. It steps into the light for a moment, and you catch a glimpse of a being covered in long fur. Then it steps behind a tree and vanishes. You hurry to the spot where you last saw it, but find nothing. You will have to clear a trick of the light with progress to track down the mysterious figure. All right. First, I got to get rid of this wolfhound. So I'm going to do another interact test with it. So I'm going to do a connect test. And let's see what I can do with this connect test. Any hearts I discard. So I need 4. So I'm going to discard 3 hearts. So I'm going to do a connect with an effort of 5. -2. The 1 I didn't need. So, alright, well, I put 3 on there. So, close. And, okay. That's the extent. So we'll go ahead and rest again. Let's put these back on. Go ahead and draw a card. Card I drew was meticulous, so it just gives me a new one of those symbols. And then it's after I succeed at a test in which you committed this attribute, you may suffer 1 fatigue to add it back to your hand, which is ready all of those. First I am going to do those, exhaust one of these beings to get rid of one of these. I'm going to add it to 2 to that. So that'll make this a 3 and get rid of this prowling wolfhound. However, before I do that, I do need to put out the caustic mulcher. Perfect. Let's see. Riri the Sparrowhawk, or the sheepdog. So, let's go add 2 there. Gonna spin to fitness. Oh. Spend another fitness. Yep, it's like that. So I'm gonna ready that and exhaust it again. Add another 2 fitness here, so this will go away. Spin to the last fitness to try and pet the dog again to ready it, and I will. And then exhaust it again to put 2 fitness here. And we're going to attempt to connect test with that bramble. First, I'm going to, do a connect with 1. Nope. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't want to do that. It was I forgot I wanted to add the heart to it, so it would be connect of 1, and I would end up getting rid of that. The reason I wanted to do that is because then eventually I'm gonna soothe those cards here. So let's do, I can do another connect test on this Trick of Light. Or the caustic mulcher. Alright, let's ready that as well. Let's see what we can do to clear this. It needs an 8 progress. If I do a connect test, I need to at least get a level of 2. So that is an effort of 2 connect. So it would be a 1. So only 1 on there. Let's try an awareness test to scout forward. So awareness 3 scouting. I've got an outpost trader here. $41, let's see what she's got to say. A small man wearing a ranger's cloak that seems at least 2 sizes too large steps out from the trees and waves. "People," he yells, "I don't see too many travelers up here. What an opportunity." He beckons you closer. "I've got some items for trade if you're interested. They're around here somewhere," the woman says, gesturing towards a notably disheveled outpost. Clear loon with progress to trade for his wares. So, 4 progress per ranger to clear him. I think I can knock that out now, actually, because I'm going to spend this. Let's exhaust. And, well, let's, hold on, do a couple things first before I do all that. Actually, I'm going to stock my fitness. Get to draw a card because I'm ending. I drew another meticulous from before. Okay, and then start of the round, draw a card. We got a Sitka Doe down here that we got to deal with, but I want to get this outpost trader cleared first. Oh, but I can't let that be odd. So I do need to interact with it, I think. But let's exhaust. So that is a feature, huh? So I'm gonna do a eventually that is a feature. 8 progress, huh? So let's see if I do, what is that traverse test? Alright, let's just do this. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna spend a fitness of 7. So I'm spending 1, 2, 3, 4 of that symbol, all 3 tokens. And because I'm bypassing these 3, I'm gonna fatigue 3 cards on top of that. So, yeah. So that goes my whole deck, but I can get it back here in a bit. So that is a 7 on the fitness. It is a 0, so this does get cleared. And let's read what happens. $39.5. You move through the trees, not sure if you're actually following something. You're not even sure you really saw a being at all. You look for tracks, signs of passage, anything to guide your way. Then suddenly you come around a tree and find yourself face to face with a tall, furry humanoid with features that seem to be a blend between human and something else. You've heard stories of the Yeti before, but you thought they were just stories. You thought they were just that, stories. You look at the Yeti for a long moment and it looks back at you. Its eyes meet yours and you feel oddly at peace, as if you and this Yeti share an ancient kinship. You begin to speak, and in response it rumbles in a low, somehow non-threatening manner. It then steps back and slips behind a tree. You move to follow, but it's no longer there. Something glints on the ground, however, right where the being had been standing. Gain translocator reward card. Right, met an interloper on the campaign tracker. Add that to my little campaign. Mark that down, and then I gain a card of some sort. Translocator reward card. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, interesting. This is awesome artwork right here. Let's show what this card is. The Translocator reward card. Let's check this card out. It's Gear Otherworldly. It's got exhaust where I can use one shift. It comes with 3. When you perform a test, dodge each card in play. If you fail that test, suffer 1 injury. So that's kind of cool. Stick that out to the side. Something I can add into the deck here. And card goes out to the side. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and exhaust this. Add 2 progress here. Discard that. Add 2 progress to another being. So give me that. I'm going to go ahead and interact with this Outpost Tender. So it's 41. 41.4. Loon beckons you over and sets down a roll of heavy canvas. He unties the antelope leather straps and rolls out the canvas, revealing his collection of found objects. See anything you like? Loon asks, interested in a trade. Each ranger may return a gear from their hand to the collection. If they did, then they choose a starting gear card from the collection that they meet the aspect requirement for and add it to their hand. This alteration to their deck is permanent. Loon makes a chipping sound himself as he inspects his newest acquisition. Then he sets it on the canvas, rolls it up, and wanders off into the woods. Without as much as a goodbye, you hear him whistling a strange, aimless tune as he vanishes amongst the trees. I just don't know that I want to get rid of anything, so we're going to skip that, get him out, and then let's see what I can do here. Let's see, a connect test on the Sitkado, I think is what I'm going to do. It's connected to, suffer fatigue. Let's see, actually let me do that before I suffer the fatigue. Or no. That's fine. I'll suffer the fatigue. I'll wait to do that. There's another active being. Exhaust it and attach it to this biomeld. If not, move your... So yeah, exhaust it. Gotta get rid of that caustic mulcher. Not too keen on, let's do one of these. A remember test, nothing happens. Exhaust that feature. Another predator. The next one is a howling wolfhound. And I do need to get rid of that and that caustic mulcher, so interesting. Alright, let's put all this stuff back in the day or the round. Add a cloud. Okay. I'm gonna spin one of these and exhaust it. So soothe equal to the number of fatigue, or of the number of, it allows me to soothe fatigue cards equal to the number of fitness, which was 3. Also was supposed to draw a card at the end of that last one. I'm getting low here, so I'm gonna need to make some progress on this location. So yeah, that prowling wolfhound is a problem. So is that caustic mulcher. I'm going to try an avoid test on it. Perfect. And then it says add 1 damage to each being attached to this biomeld. Each ranger with their suffers 1 injury. So I'm going to attach 1 damage to each being attached to that. Okay, I need to get rid of this. So it's 9. So let's go ahead and do this. Fatigue this. Get 2 progress on this. And then fatigue that. Discard from this being to add an aid token to a card. And then obviously 2 progress to another being. Which I'm going to add 2 progress to that. I'm going to spend fitness. Nope. So I do attach another to that being. I'm gonna go ahead and do another fitness. I'm gonna spend. Yep, so I put another 2 onto this, and then I'm gonna spend another. This does get, refreshed here. And the predator comes out. Yeah. That on here. Do a connect test. Add 1 to that. All right. And I'm back. So everything gets refreshed. Draw a card. Path card. Obstacle. Break overgrown thicket. I just gotta get rid of some of this stuff. So let's spend one of these. I'm gonna take 3 of these back into my hand. And exhaust this. Let's add this back. I also will add 2 to that. And exhaust the sheep. So that'll get rid of that. Alright, got a prowl overgrown thicket, so that's an awareness test. Equal to my effort. So I'm going to spend 2 plus, I'm going to use a meticulous. Perfect. So 2 plus that gets rid of that. With progress. Now I've got this left. So let's go ahead and spend the progress to hopefully try to ready that. Nope. Spend a fitness. That'll get readied. I'm going to exhaust it immediately. Add 2 more progress to this. Spend it again. Nope. That's getting rid of all those good ones. So, although add 1, attach 1 being to this biomeld. Yep. So that should have been attached. Okay. Let's, I'm going to do a connect test with it. And I can discard, do I have any? Let's see if I get some good luck here. No. Suffer fatigue. I'll suffer one of these. So I add 2 for the effort for the connect test. Getting close. If there is another being exhausted and attacked. Okay. I think that's all. So let's add these back to it. I think I'm in a more manageable spot to clean this place up. Healing touch. Discard 1 damage from a being to add 3 progress to it. It's kind of cool. So this will come readied. This will come readied. 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 All these are readied. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Draw this card. Please not. be an obstacle or anything super crazy. Of course it's an obstacle. Nice. But I think I can clear that without that awareness. Plus that card. Yeah, so I'm going to spin this card. Plus 2 awareness. Add a heart to it. That's perfect, so that goes away. Get rid of that caustic mulcher and then interact with the feature. Cool. I think I can get rid of that caustic mulcher like right away, so let's go ahead and discard that. Add 2 progress to this feature. This will go away. That stays out. That's fine. I'm gonna just ignore that and go right for the tidy the remote outpost to discard 1 neglect from this location. Focus plus any triangles. Alright, I'm gonna do it. Just gonna go right bypass all of these, discard 5 fatigue. I'm going to do a focus plus the last card I'm gonna discard. So that would be 2. I do discard 1 neglect from it, so there's 1 neglect left on there. Alright. That's probably wrong token for that. I'll have to do 1 more. Let's do this and hopefully undo that. Yes. Okay. Let's try to get this out again. Nice. Again. 2. See if I can go for a 3rd. And I can. So this guy goes away. And that's 1, 2, 3. But I do this. Do fatigue a card. Okay. I've got this last guy. Alright, and the rest. Exhaust. Draw a card. Intention Translator Exhaust. Use 1 charge when a ranger performs a connect test. Commit 1 effort. That's kind of cool. Gonna use the trail mix here. I'm gonna take 3 cards back equal to my fate. And then draw a card from the deck. Just almost empty. Sitka-buck. Let's do an awareness test up here. Definitely completes. Where is my... Yeah, so ranger token goes here. Okay. So it does exhaust. I do grab a predator from the deck. I'm just going to go directly to interact with this because I can put damage on this equal to number of things that would fatigue me. I'm going to do a focus. Plus get rid of that insightful just to make sure I don't. Yep, that worked. So this comes off. And there's no neglect, read 4.1. So we're going to go ahead and read that back here. All right. If you fixed up Northern Outpost, after a few hours of tidying and scrubbing and general fixing, the outpost is back to semblance of working order for now. You breathe a sigh of relief at a job well done. Each ranger soothes 3 fatigue. Oh, so no, it's actually after hours of hacking and overgrowth, scrubbing the floor, blah, 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 blah. Each ranger soothes 3 fatigue. Discard the deep woods if it is in play. Record fixed up Northern Outpost into the campaign tracker. So we're going to do that. Fixed up Northern Outpost into the campaign tracker. Okay, and then now gonna try to travel away. So I need 4 progress. Let's do a traverse test on there to try to get out of here. And I'm just gonna spend everything I've got to get rid of this. So let's see. What's the? Yeah, I'm gonna spend the 2 plus the 3. That's 5. I've got these 2 here, so that's a. Got to get rid of 3 cards for that. Exhaust 3 cards. Oh. For that. So I get right here. Need 4 per ranger. And I'm spending 5. And that would be 6. So I did clear it. And I am going to travel away from Northern Outpost. And so with that, I'm going to decide to travel in the day. I'm actually going to camp. So I'm going to go ahead and get that processed. So I'm going to take all my cards back because I'm camping. These go away. These go away. Setting up the new path deck for where we're going to go. And this is, I'm going to record the end of the day on my campaign tracker. Take the last one, so I put this over. This will go back. Locations. Alright, we got Mount Nim. So there's an overlook action. It's a focus of 3. The surrounding valley to choose a nearby pivotal location. Attach 1 card from that location set face down to this location. After you travel, if you've traveled to that location, put the attached card into play, otherwise return it to the collection. So I attach 1 card from that pivotal face location set face down to this location. And after I travel, if I travel that location, I put that card into play, otherwise return to the collection. So interesting, because that's interesting because I'm in the middle of traveling. So I'm here at the Northern Outpost traveling to Mount Nim, and I'm then going to travel to a pivotal location, which is the Fractured Wall. And so I get to put one of those cards, immediately into play when I get there, if I have, if I can get this focus test done here before I travel. So that's kind of awesome. Let's set up this path deck here, and then I think at that point, so this is the mountain path set we have not explored yet, plus 3 random cards from the valley set, which will be various creatures or people we meet along the way that are traveling through the valley. So, plus all the mountain creatures. I think the mountain set's probably a little more tough, which is also why I wanted to rest and camp before doing that. Cool. Alright, and the last thing I want to do is just make sure travel camp. And I can swap reward cards into my hand now, so I think I'm going to do some of that too. And I'm going to put both these cards in and take some of the basic ones out that I don't use as much. So we're going to modify the deck a little bit, shuffle, and then the last thing before we end this, I'm actually going to read about this mountain and the let's see what the setup looks like for this. So arrival setup says 13 in the book, so let's read that. Climbing the spurs of Mount Nim is tiring work. A brisk wind chills your skin as you approach the summit. You look out and see almost the entirety of the valley stretching to the south. White Sky Lake glimmers below. Then following the thread of the Silverfin River, you can spot the thin gleaming spike of the spire in the distance. Beyond, you imagine you can see the mouth of the valley where the ground drops away into the emerald expanse of the Verdessa below. Interesting. So lead ranger, draw 2 path cards, choose one to put into play and discard the other. If one of the cards has ambush, you must choose that card. So that's on the arrival setup. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then we will call it. So none of these have ambush. There's a ranger cache, which could give me some useful gear. There's also a spiderline station. So I can ride. I can move to that feature. During your turn, if your ranger token is on this feature, you may treat obstacles as they did not have the keyword obstacle. I think that's the one to put out. And then ranger cache will come out afterwards. So, all right. So there's the setup. I'm gonna move my tokens back onto my ranger card, or my whatever they call that, resource card, or let's see. And then yeah, join next time as we explore Mount Nim, and then eventually head down to the Fractured Wall, which is another pivotal location.